Very good evening, guys. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. The video shot on 4th October 2020, and this is an animated video by Treasury Consulting Group. As we very well understand that whenever we take positions in any of the IPO, which is known as initial public offer, or FPO, which is also known as follow-on public offers. So let me write this in a red pen, which is known as IPO, which is known as initial public offer, or I will say FPO, which is known as follow-on public offer. There are many factors that we need to consider. That is an unfortunate fact that many a times different media of different countries are pushing that IPO to the higher extent. Rather, they will push in such a way that they will force you to subscribe to that IPO, and after subscribing to that IPO, you will feel that it is a mess. There are many examples we have in that regards. History is a witness that in every exchange of the globe, whether it is India, US, or anyone, eventually investors end up in a loss, or in majority of the IPOs, whatever they envisaged is basically a loss. There are many factors which you can consider while investing in an IPO. Like, I would like to divide this discussion into two formats. Now, the first format is definitely the barometers provided by the media, and second format is the barometers provided by the Treasury Consulting Group. Now, we need to understand that media is giving you a format which is known as price to earning ratio, which is known as P to E ratio. On the contrary, Treasury Consulting believes in two. Number one, we believe in price to earning. Asterisk means there is something which I need to tell you. We believe in PEG ratio, and last, we believe in P to T ratio. Before I move further, let me remind you that these all evaluations require a data. That is something which I need to agree and we need to appreciate, because without having any holistic data, expecting that level of research is really very tough. But we need to understand that the data is something which is always utmost important, and we need to have that data. Because until we have that data, getting that level of investigations is really tough. And before I move further, please also note that, of course, they are all the barometers, but even after having these barometers, the surety level is not 100% secure. So it is just like, you can say, a space aircraft. History is a witness that different space organizations, they took almost all safety measures about their spacecrafts. But history is also a witness that even after these securities measures, the accident happened. And several times that these spacecraft crashed, even after having so many scientists, so many millions and millions of US dollars being spent on the research or on the devices which are being incorporated in these spacecraft. So these all are preliminary investigation tools. But of course, and more importantly, we need to appreciate that the bigger the IPO is. So example, if I strictly speak about India, then the latest research suggests that the government is looking to offload around 25%, which is 1/4 of their holdings in LIC. While the different articles are also stating that this offloading will happen in a phased manner. Well, this phased manner is not yet sure. So example, 6%, 6%, 6%, 6%, or it may be 10% followed by 50%. But this level of information is not there, so it is really difficult to comment. But having said that, 25% offload news is there in the public domain. God knows as and when this will start, we really do not know. So how it happens is, this is 2. Now before I move further, let me have another canvas. Let me clear the canvas. So basically, what is EPS? EPS stands for earning per share. I think it is one of the important metrics which people require. As I told many times, that the way you look the balance sheet. So example, a way a chartered accountant or a CA look at balance sheet, valuation expert look at the balance sheet in a relatively different way, and should be. So example, if somebody talk to me, then EPS is of 3 types. One is known as basic EPS. One is known as diluted EPS. And one is known as adjusted EPS. And one is known as best adjusted EPS. This EPS, which is basic EPS, let me change the pen. This EPS, where I'm putting the star, this EPS is very obsolete in nature. So if you are calculating price to earning ratio using basic EPS, then I am really sorry. This EPS is okay. This EPS is okay plus, while this EPS is the best EPS we're going to get using. Absolutely. Having said that, when we are speaking, we need to appreciate one fact very clearly and very apparent way, that adjusted EPS is always subject to interpretation issue. There is no doubt about that. I never disregard the fact that adjusted EPS is also subject to interpretation issue. Yes, it is subject to interpretation issue, and it should be subject to interpretation issue. There is nothing wrong in that, to be honest, according to me. Now, having said that, if I move further, then there are 4 price to earning ratio, and here I am changing the pen again to blue. One price to earning ratio is market price per share divided by basic EPS. One price to earning ratio is market price per share divided by diluted EPS, while one price to earning ratio is market price per share divided by best adjusted EPS. And my favorite for valuing is definitely price to earning ratio is market price per share divided by adjusted EPS. Without giving any name, if you look at the media reports, rather the so-called valuation experts, when they give their views about, which is this company is launching the IPO, or this company launching the IPO, and so on and so forth, they always give this. And my interpretation issue with them is this. And of course, I need to appreciate that this level of information is readily available in Bloomberg and of course in Reuters. This level of information is readily available. The only source is that we need to have this level of information so that we can make our decision out of it. But there are millions of young guys, so-called experienced professionals, those who are taking their decision on, I would say on the basic EPS. Let's move to next canvas. And another very important thing, which is PEG ratio, which is price to earning growth ratio, where the G factor is always return on equities into retention ratio, whereby retention ratio is always equals to 1 minus payout. And I put a star there. Let me change. Star is including corporate actions. This is PEG ratio, and I think that PEG ratio is one of the most powerful ratios we have in the globe. Now, to move further, and I'm changing my pen to black. The right way of valuation is PEG ratio, and the live is market price per share net of outliers divided by adjusted EPS complete bracket with the whole is to be divided by the G factor. G, I already told you how to calculate the G. This is price to earning ratio. This is also PEG ratio. And I think that if we invest in any stock, whether it is any IPO, whether this IPO is in India, outside India, or any country of the globe, the wisest factor to decide is definitely the PEG factor. That is more important. And Taishi Consulting always evaluate on PEG ratio. There is another thing which I want to talk, not in detail, because this is little our model which we invented. This is known as P to T ratio, which is equals to market price per share divided by tangible book per share. PS means per share. It means that the formula is the total tangible book of the company. Suppose this is $X million, assuming, and total float capital. Remember, I'm talking about float capital. This is 1000 shares, I'm assuming. Then tangible book per share is equals to X million divided by 1000. Suppose that turn out to be Y, assuming. And the right way to calculate is, this is how P to T ratio is calculated, and the right way to calculate is market price per share net of outliers divided by Y. So the two wisest way, which I think that should be considered while we evaluate any IPO, FPO, maybe offer for sale or any other thing, is of course PEG ratio and of course P to T ratio. This is how Treasury Consulting exactly do. This is how Treasury Consulting work. This is how Treasury Consulting do the valuation. And of course, our valuation standards continue to change. As I said that we cannot have one stick who can cart all horses of the globe, or who can command all horses of the globe. Different horses of the globe require multiple sticks. Similarly, we need to appreciate one thing very clearly, that these all are preliminary standards, but as the IPO is bigger and having complex in gratitude, we need to have complex valuation standard. I hope you like this video, and this will let you know that Treasury Consulting valuation desk is relatively pretty big, and we would surely have a lot of videos in that regards. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting. You know our WhatsApp, which is 9818. This is our WhatsApp number. If you have any query, and our fixed income platform, you know, you are most welcome to connect us in case you wanted to know about our paid groups, our Android app, our free research reports, and anything. You're welcome to contact us. Have a great time, guys, and talk soon.